got to ask you about Kadarius Toney. That play is
I love him. I love him to death. I love him to death. We all make mistakes. Obviously, a mistake of this magnitude is magnified because of the circumstance and the way the game ended and it being called back. It's unfortunate. As far as for Kadarius, I love him to death, and you just have to in that moment, you. And when you look at the ref, and he checked with the ref, a lot of people haven't even seen it. You know, I've seen different angles of it. He checked with the ref, but you have to keep the eye line. Keep the eye line with the referee until he lets you know to either back up or stay forward. And that's the one issue he didn't do. He did check. He did check. I'm not sure if there's a way that you guys can see the other angles of it. It just when he checked, he looked at him, pointed, but didn't wait for confirmation from the referee, so the referee could tell him, "Listen, we need you to back up a little bit." If it's split, if the split was out wide, you know, you could hear the ref really easy. You know, he'd be able to say, "Kadarius, back up." But the split was tight. He was condensed in a condensed formation, so there's no way the ref can scream. The ref ain't gonna scream to you. You got to keep the eye contact with the ref until he lets you know you're okay. So it was unfortunate, and it's a mistake that you know Kadarius can fix. And I think he'll be okay.
what would you say to him just to get, they got a lot of critics coming at him. What would you say to him just to get
Hey,
past
listen,
this?
listen, F him. I don't mean to curse. I'm sorry, but as a former player, I've also been in those situations before where I've made mistakes, and those mistakes have cost the game. It's happened to me. It happened to me early in my career. I never forget. John Kitton was our quarterback, and I dropped the ball in Indianapolis, and it cost us the game. We needed that third down catch, and you go back to the drawing board. You bust your ass this week in practice, and you make sure you make up for that play. And I think he will do that.
Have you ever seen plays like that called? Because Dean Blandino told us yesterday that Andy Reid offense, they've never had an offensive pass interference, offensive offsides. Do you even remember? It's such a rare penalty to even see.
It happens. The funny thing about the NFL, which is weird, is you can call offsides on every play, whether it be the lineman, whether it be D tackles, head, or receivers lined up a little too far. You can do that every play. You can call holding every single play. It just the moments when they pick and choose to call them is the issue. If you want to be consistent, be consistent. There'll be flags for 3 hours during the game. Tonight's show is going to be really good. Tonight's show is going to be really good. We had Patrick McQueen in studio. We talked about the Ravens defense. The defense obviously playing great ball, winning a game. You can't. How do I explain this? Things like that, the last play of the game and winning the game on a punt return in overtime, you can't even replicate that in the video game. So we talked to McQueen to Patrick Queen about the excitement of that moment. And obviously asked him about the offense and the dynamic and the addition of Odell Beckham and the rest of that receiving core playing extremely well.
What do you think of that team? They look pretty good.
They look very good. They look very good. Obviously, my allegiance will always be to my Bengals, as always. But what the Ravens have showed on both sides of the ball is good for them, especially when it comes to the playoffs, because the defense can be one of the best in the league and have played that way. And the offense, depending on if they're on and when they are on with Lamar, in addition of Odell Beckham and what they're doing, they can be someone scary you'd have to see in the playoffs.